From gas station counters to school lunchboxes, Slim Jims remain one of the most popular American snacks. But how exactly do these spicy, smoky meat sticks come to life? Watch as we dissect the multi-step process of how Slim Jims are made. It all kicks off with the star of the show, the meat. Contrary to popular opinion, it isn't just beef jerky. The meat used in these tasty treats is a combination of beef, pork, and mechanically separated chicken, which is a paste created by removing the last bits of meat from the chicken bones using high pressure. The beef and pork come from low-grade trimmings with a rich flavor and high fat content. The cuts used for this blend may be the leftovers after the prime selections, which are cost-effective, but that's not the reason for its selection. These cuts provide the perfect texture and fat content for processed meat products, creating a uniform, savory blend that makes this snack everyone's favorite. Beyond the meat blend, other ingredients also play a crucial role in creating Slim Jims. Water helps bind everything together, ensuring the mix stays smooth. Salt doesn't just add flavor, it serves as a natural preservative, helping the product stay fresh without refrigeration. But more on that later. Corn syrup and dextrose add sweetness, help in binding, and fuel the fermentation process. Then there are the spices with distinct seasoning profiles for different Slim Jim flavors that help make the magic happen. Finally, sodium nitrate serves as a curing agent to inhibit harmful bacteria and give them their distinct color. Every ingredient plays a role in creating this snack. And if you're wondering, Slim Jim is so popular that it even has vegetarian versions made with soy, seitan, or mushrooms. These meat-free sticks mimic the same chewy texture and savory flavor as the original. After the raw materials are gathered, they undergo a thorough quality inspection, especially the meat. Quality is key here. Inspectors check the meat for color, freshness, and texture to ensure it meets safety and quality standards. Lab testing might be done in some scenarios to check for pathogens and verify acidity. It's also vital to ensure the supplier verifications. The meat needs to be sourced from USDA-approved suppliers. For the spices and additives, labeling and expiration dates are inspected rigorously. This comprehensive process guarantees flawless production. Even a slight deviation could throw the entire production off balance. Once the ingredients pass the inspection, it's time for the next step, grinding. The meat blend is pushed through an industrial meat grinder with different sized plates, which controls how fine or coarse the grind is. It breaks down the meat into tiny, uniform minced meat, creating a consistent texture essential. Once the blend reaches the desired texture, we move to the mixing stage. It's all dumped into large mixers along with everything else that makes Slim Jim a Slim Jim: water, spices, preservatives, and other additives. It isn't just a casual stir, it's a thorough mixing process to make sure every single ingredient is evenly distributed for consistent flavor and texture. This extensive mixing can last anywhere from several minutes to over an hour, depending on the batch size. Once the meat blend is ground to perfection, it's time to give it shape. This is done through a process called stuffing or extrusion. Think of it as a giant, super precise sausage maker. The smooth, seasoned blend is transferred into a specialized machine called an extruder, which uses industrial-level pressure to squeeze the meat through an opening, kind of like squeezing toothpaste out of a tube. Ever stop to think about just how many Slim Jim sticks are created in a year? Comment your guess down below, and we'll reveal the answer in the end. Edible casings made from collagen, a natural protein, are then used to give Slim Jims their signature long, thin, and consistent stick shape. Once squeezed, the casings are linked and twisted into strands of equally sized meat rods with the help of a clipping machine. These continuous, uniform operations guarantee each Slim Jim looks just like the last. Have you ever wondered how these tasty meat sticks stay fresh without refrigeration? This next step is the answer to that question. After the sticks are formed, fermentation occurs. This isn't just a casual drying process, it's a heavily controlled environment that contributes to the snack's high shelf life. The raw Slim Jim sticks are hung on big racks and rolled into special temperature-controlled chambers. The temperature set precisely somewhere around 68 degrees Fahrenheit to 86 degrees Fahrenheit helps the lactic acid added back in the mixing stage get to work. The lactic acid causes a dramatic drop in pH, usually 5.3 or lower, which creates an acidic environment that reduces spoilage and kills all bacteria, helping it stay fresh even without refrigeration. This drying occurs over a period ranging from 24 to 72 hours, depending on several factors. This process helps bind the protein together more tightly, resulting in a firm, chewy signature Slim Jim flavor. This process is incredibly essential for making the final product safe, shelf-stable, and deliciously distinctive, ensuring the sticks stay fresh and shelf-stable, paving the way for the next crucial step. After their acidic spa treatment in the fermentation chambers, the Slim Jims now move from the cool, humid rooms to massive industrial-scale smokehouses. These smokehouses operate at controlled temperatures that gradually increase. First, the sticks are smoked at temperatures between 110 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit to dry the surface and infuse them with their signature smoky flavor. This gives them the signature smoky aroma and flavor. The temperature then climbs to 150 to 180 degrees Fahrenheit, which evenly cooks the product and transforms the raw fermented meat into the fully cooked, safe final product infused with wood smoke. This multi-hour step is also essential in forming a beautiful color on the surface of the meat, developing its characteristic reddish-brown color. Fresh out of the smokehouses, the very first thing is to cool them down quickly to immediately stop the cooking process, preventing overcooking. This is done in large cooling rooms by circulating cold air or sometimes a quick water shower. After this cooling, the Slim Jims undergo a final drying process. This step is less intense than the initial fermentation. Unlike fermentation, it occurs in a less humid environment, at lower temperatures and for shorter durations, typically at just a few hours. The goal is to achieve their desired moisture content. Too much moisture might lead to spoilage or a mushy texture. Too little and it would be unappetizingly dry. It is about perfecting that firm and snappy texture for the consistent and satisfying taste customers expect. They have survived the grinding, passed the inspections, and been through extreme smoke and temperature, and now finally ready to be packaged for its journey to store shelves and into your hands. They are transported to the high-speed packaging machinery where each stick is enclosed in an airtight wrapper. But it isn't just a simple cover. These individual packages are vacuum sealed, removing all air to ensure a high and stable shelf life. Next, they are moved to printing. Each wrapper is labeled with the distinct Slim Jim branding and all other essential information: ingredients, production dates, expiration dates, and nutritional facts. Finally, the individual wraps are grouped and packed into larger cardboard boxes or display units, ready to be shipped worldwide. Now that we know how it's made, you might be curious, where did the Slim Jim story begin? It dates back to the 1920s when businessman and philanthropist Adolf Levis, alongside his brother-in-law, developed the meat stick in Philadelphia. It was originally sold in jars at taverns, but in the 1950s, Levi's and Cherry started individually wrapping them. After widespread popularity, the business was sold to General Mills, now under Conagra Brands. So there you have it, folks. From humble beginnings to one of the most beloved American snacks, iconic Slim Jims have come a long way. To answer the question we asked earlier, ever stop to think about just how many Slim Jim sticks are created in a year? Well, believe it or not, millions upon millions of these savory sticks are made every single year. We all know hot dogs. They're at every barbecue, ball game, and food stand. But have you ever stopped to think about how hot dogs are actually made? It's not someone in a kitchen carefully making each one by hand. It's machines. Fast, loud, and insanely efficient, cranking out over 1,200 hot dogs every minute. And the process? Honestly, it's kind of wild. The main ingredient in this entire process is the meat trimmings. Meat trimmings are smaller pieces of meat left over from primary cuts. Whether it's pork, beef, chicken, or turkey, those trimmings undergo a strict quality inspection for fat content, protein levels, and other standards. After passing inspection, production starts. The meat is cut into smaller pieces to be devoured by the industrial grinder that turns it into a finely minced blend, a fine consistency that's ready to be mixed with other raw materials, like flavoring such as salt, pepper, or paprika, preservatives like sodium nitrate, and fillers like breadcrumbs or cornmeal. Water or ice is also added to help with the blending and temperature control. After this step, a smooth meat batter is ready for further processing. Before we move on to the next step, here's a fun fact for you. Did you know that the U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, has strict criteria for what can be called a hot dog? According to regulations, there must be transparent labeling on the type of meat source used. If it's beef, it must be clearly stated, and it must contain at least 30% meat. It's a legal requirement. In the next and most crucial step, the paste is filled into the casings. Casings are thin tubes that help hot dogs retain their shape during the entire process. Casings come in two forms. They can either be man-made, made of synthetic cellulose, which leads to consistent size and texture. Although less expensive, these are not edible and need to be removed later in the process. However, natural casings, which are widely used, are made from animal intestines. They're a bit more expensive and are used in more premium hot dogs. These casings are eaten along with the hot dog, contributing to its traditional flavor. The paste is stuffed into the casings using automated sausage fillers, which ensure the casings are not overstuffed and that no air pockets remain. Once filled, the casings are linked and twisted into long strands of equally sized hot dogs with the help of a clipping machine, ready for the next step. Both methods help reach the same objective: cooking the meat, enhancing the flavor, and adding the signature snap, while the automated process guarantees uniformity, consistency, and efficiency. These machines produce hundreds of links a minute, but here's an intriguing question. When did this food stop being handcrafted and start being engineered? Comment with your guesses below, and we will reveal them in the outro. The next stage involves the smoking and cooking of the links, where the actual transformation occurs. Factories use various methods for cooking the link. We'll discuss the two popular methods used worldwide: steaming or smoking. Steaming involves cooking the hot dogs in a steam tunnel or chamber. The steam tunnel uses a long conveyor to move the hot dogs through pressurized steam, with temperatures above 160 degrees Fahrenheit to safely cook the meat. Smoking is done in a large smokehouse under controlled temperature and humidity. It involves infusing the hot dogs with a variety of sources, such as burning wood or plant materials. This adds a rich, smoky, and savory flavor. The cooking time usually depends on the recipe being followed, which can be up to 1 to 2 hours. This step not only gives the hot dogs their flavor and taste, but the cooking also adds color to the surface and kills all pathogens, making it safe to eat. How long do you think it takes for a hot dog to be made in a factory, from meat preparation to packaging? The answer: less than 30 minutes for a typical hot dog flavor, including the grinding, stuffing, linking, cooking, inspecting, and sealing. After the cooking is done, the hot dogs are cooled quickly with water to help equalize their internal temperature. For hot dogs with synthetic cellulose casings, they are moved to an automatic peeler where the casing is removed using high-pressure water or air jets. Before they move on to packaging, each hot dog is inspected through an automated inspection system with the help of high-speed cameras and sensors. They're checked to ensure they meet the standard for safety, appearance, and performance. Factories use an inline weighing system to ensure each hot dog meets the accurate weight criteria. For inspection of foreign objects, such as metal fragments or any other contamination, the hot dogs pass through a metal detector. This is the final step before packing and shipping the hot dogs worldwide. They have survived the grinding, lost their skins, been through extreme smoke and temperature, and passed the inspection. And now they're finally ready to be packed and distributed to retailers. After being transported to the packaging machinery, they are grouped, usually in counts of 8 or 10, and lined up on plastic film trays or sleeves. These trays enter a vacuum chamber where high-power pumps suck out all the air, preventing the growth of bacteria. The film is then tightly sealed to create high shelf life and industry-safe packaging. These vacuum-sealed packs extend freshness by 4 to 6 weeks under refrigeration. Each of these packages is then cooled and moved along the line for labeling. They're printed with production date, location, and batch number, which helps with tracking in the case of a recall or quality issue. Next, the packaged hot dogs are placed in large refrigerated storage rooms kept between 32 and 40 degrees Fahrenheit. This helps them stay fresh and safe by slowing down any bacterial growth. Once chilled, they're loaded into special refrigerated trucks for delivery. From there, they're shipped to 2 main places. Some go to wholesale distributors who supply restaurants, stadiums, or grocery stores. Others go straight to retailers like your local supermarket, where you can buy them directly. These hot dogs move fast. In just a matter of hours, they travel from factory lines to store shelves, school cafeterias, gas station grills, and backyard barbecues. It's a tightly controlled process designed to keep everything fresh, clean, and ready to eat by the time it reaches you. It's pretty incredible to think how something made by machines at lightning speed ends up in your lunchbox or on your grill the very same day. But before all these machines, scanners, and conveyors, hot dogs have a long history across different continents, cultures, and centuries. As we all know, a hot dog is a type of sausage, and sausages date back to the 7th century. Did you know that the earliest mention of the word sausage was in the epic poem, The Odyssey? Fast forward over 1,000 years, and sausages were embraced across Europe in many distinct cultures, particularly across Germany. Germans created assorted styles of sausages, which are still widely known based on German cities such as Frankfurt and Vienna. In the later centuries, German immigrants brought their beloved sausages to America, which laid the groundwork for the American hot dog. Street vendors and butchers started selling them with soft rolls and buns in fast-paced cities like New York and Chicago, leading to the introduction of a snack you can have on the go. And the name you hear today came from an early baseball game where a cartoonist, unable to pronounce the German name Dachshund, captioned it hot dog. The name stuck, and so did the obsession. Next time you eat a hot dog, think about the process behind it. And as for the question from step 2, when did hot dogs stop being handcrafted and start being engineered? It began in the late 1800s, when industrial meat processing took over traditional sausage making. Machines took the lead, and mass production became the norm. From hand-stuffed links to millions made in minutes, hot dogs have come a long way. If you enjoyed this breakdown, like and subscribe for more and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching.